Thanks for joining us. Happy Monday. Happy holiday week, because that's always exciting, to only have to work a couple of days this week. So hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for joining us. Got a fun guest for us today with a tour, a possible tour, so we can get my buddy out of the sun here for a few minutes. Thanks, Coach McClain, for joining us today. How are you?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Doing great. I mean, I feel a little bad because I'm sitting in here in the nice air conditioning and you're outside doing what you do best and serving our community, watering the grass.
Be nice, or I'm going to spray you with this water.
And that would probably feel really good. It's hot out today. So so why don't you tell everybody where you're at and what you've been working on so hard lately.
Sure. So I'm at Sanctuary Village, which we hope will be the beginning of the end of homelessness in Douglas County. And it's located at the Douglas County landfill complex at the old site of the animal shelter. As you know, we built a new animal shelter off Fairburn Road. The old one was demolished. And if you can see right here, this is the actual spot where the old animal shelter was located. So what we did was we cut the concrete pad out. We were donated 3 double wide mobile homes from the school system. We moved them to this site, and we're in the process of converting them into efficiency apartments for the homeless people in our community. And these other 2 trailers over here, if you can see those that have the perennials in front of them and they're the brown colored, those are just about done. And those were the units that were here as part of the animal control facilities.
Very cool. So, a lot of people don't know that this, I mean, I hope a lot of people know that this has been something that's been going on. But can you kind of talk a little bit about how, where this idea came from and kind of who's been involved? And I know that you've received a ton of support from different organizations within the community from every, obviously you mentioned the school system, but I know you've had a lot of other key partners in helping get this off the ground.
Well, a short version of a very long story is I've been doing outreach ministry in the county now for about 15 years, and a lot of my work involves homeless people, and a lot of my work involves partnering with people who serve them. And also through the drug court, we noticed a lot of people coming into drug court were homeless, so it was just a constant issue and a lot of complaints about the homeless, quite frankly, from the community, as well as a lot of folks that were trying to help them, wanted to do more than just, bring them food and prayer. They wanted some solutions and some answers. So the idea hit me to try to do something. And we looked at some different options. We ran into something that maybe you've heard of called NIMBY.
Yep.
You ever heard of NIMBY, Sarah?
Yep.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of the options we looked at resulted in negativity and hostility. And the idea came up, what about the landfill? And there wasn't a lot of hostility to housing these folks here at the landfill, but also it had some advantages because there was some existing infrastructure. There was existing water, existing power. There was some septic infrastructure here for the animal shelter. We had 2 trailers here already. So it sort of came together as a practical solution and a politically acceptable solution, if I can use that phrase. And so I got Terry Miller with the city to help me with some architectural plans. We started working with the fire marshal and looking at all the building and safety codes. And one of the interesting advantages of these double wide units is doors. And so that gives us the option of building residences around the doors, which is helpful if you're trying to comply with fire codes to give each resident their own exit where they can just get up and go out the door if some sort of emergency happens. So the commissioners were very supportive, and a lot of other people were. And once we got our plans, we went to work.
I love it. Well, and I think it's a great example of a public-private partnership, which, everybody's willing to give a little bit to something that ends up making a great end result. So, you obviously have the infrastructure in place. You have people who are willing to give and donate from whatever that is. I know you've worked with some of our groups, our Leadership Douglas programs have helped with some of the landscaping projects. I know some of the local churches have come out and helped with, with help with whatever needs to be done. So I think I think it's wonderful. I think it's a great testament to our story. And unfortunately, I hate that, like you said, there's a lot of the NIMBYs that are there. For those that don't know, it's not in my backyard, and it's but I think it's great that you found the perfect spot to help those that are homeless. So can you talk to me a little bit about what's the process for them getting into, well, one, I guess, when are you planning on being open? And two, what's the process? How do people get placed in there? Is there like an application or do you show up? Like, how does that work?
I think I got your question. You're breaking up a little bit, but what our plans are is once we are close enough to being done, we're already working with the homeless in the community. We have a grant from the United Way to provide part-time staff to work with the homeless, to establish relationship, to figure out a case plan for each person, what their needs are, what their situation is. Do they need ID? Do they need some type of medical care? Do they need a job? Do they need a GED? Do they need mental health or substance abuse treatment? And what we're going to do is give homeless people an opportunity to live here if they will comply with a case plan that is suited to them, that will help them gain self-sufficiency. And we have been running drug court now for 5 years, and about 20% of the people that come into drug court are homeless. But 0% of the people who leave our drug court and graduate successfully are homeless. And so what we found is that if you can get a helping hand to deal with issues that you have in your life, you can become self-sufficient and get a job and get a GED or get trained in a technical skill and be able to make your own way. But Sarah, think about this. Let's say tomorrow you were put out in the woods with the clothes on your back and you had no friends and no money. How would you get out of the woods? It isn't as easy as people think once you land in that position, especially if you have mental health issues or substance abuse issues. You need someone to help you.
Yeah.
The people that are willing to be helped and willing to change, we're going to succeed. There's going to be a certain group of people who will not be interested in what we have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a certain group that are going to go through the process and fail. But I'm confident we're going to have enough victories to make it worthwhile.
I think that's great. And I mean, I literally, while you were talking, I was thinking to myself, put up those barriers of, if, like you said, if it was me and I ended up in the woods with nothing but the clothes on my back, how would that look? Because no phone, no way to contact anybody, no resources, no car. I mean, it's a very hard position. And like you said, and I know you're part of the ministry, the homeless coalition that goes out and visits, at some of the homeless camps. And some people, you're right, are completely fine being out here and they're good. And others are willing to work and to change. So I think it's great that there's an option for that doesn't have to sanctuary village. Are you inside now?
Well, I thought I'd give you
Yeah.
and the audience of, my understanding is it's about 200,000 people that are watching this podcast.
Oh yeah, we're famous. We're going viral.
Can you see that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what we call a mini split system. And the innovation there is we can provide heating and air without running ductwork through the unit. That, of course, is a stainless steel refrigerator, brand new, 18 cubic feet. Donated cabinets. You see we've got a theme of gray and silver here. Internet-based TV. There's no cost for that.
Got
just
it.
the internet service, which we will also use to have a security system out here so we can monitor what's going on. And so you get a kitchenette,
Mhm.
TV, cafe table, chair to sit in. This is bedroom.
Nice.
And yeah, IKEA. And this is, what can I say? I like IKEA. So this is the bathroom area. You got a shower, sink, bathroom, toilet. And I really like this beadboard design here. We wanted to create a community that would tell homeless people that you are a human being that's worthy of love and respect. And so we wanted environments for these folks that would say that.
Yeah.
As part of the preparation for this, I went to the major homeless shelters in Atlanta and asked questions and studied them. I went to the Gateway Center. I went to the Hope Atlanta program. I went to City of Refuge. And a big takeaway was that the standard practice is to put homeless people in a barracks dormitory style setting.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with that is you have no privacy. And when you put a bunch of people in close together that have issues, there's going to be conflict. So I wanted to give these folks their own space where they could walk in, lock their door, and have privacy. If you go around Douglasville and you see someone, for example, that's panhandling, one of the easiest tells that they're a fake homeless person, which we have a lot of those in Douglas County. We have a lot of fake homeless people that panhandle. They're not really homeless.
Wow.
But one of the things you look for, do they have a backpack or something with all their belongings in it? And the reason for that is to protect it from theft.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a secure place to put all their stuff in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So here, you've got a door and a lock, very sturdy door, and a key, and you can have a little bit of security, a little bit of safety, and a little bit of privacy at Sanctuary Village.
Love it. So, question, how did you come up with the name Sanctuary Village?
Well, actually, I got some negative feedback about that because people started associating it with sanctuary cities and political issues, and it really has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
When you go to church and you go into the worship space, it's called a sanctuary. And the idea is to get away from the issues of the world and have a place where you can pray, worship, be who you are without someone coming up at you or against you. And so Tim Pruitt, actually my drug court coordinator, suggested Sanctuary Village, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And then my good friend Mark Denice came up with an excellent logo, as well as signage that we're going to put on the property, that each unit will be named after a point in the Serenity Prayer.
Oh.
that is well known in Alcoholics Anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have the Serenity Prayer on a plaque inside each unit. So we'll have like the wisdom unit and the peace unit and so forth, just to kind of keep telling folks that you can change and you can become a better person and you can succeed. So
I love
here's our sod
that.
that's
Fresh
facing
side.
people. Yeah, that it looks great, and
Yeah.
just landscaping really does help. And this we sort of we were helped a lot by Hughes Ray, Taylor Pounds. They
Mm-hmm.
donated their services. They did a great job with a landscaping plan, and Taylor and I got together, and we're kind of using what we've got here, the aluminum stairwells, the multicolor scheme. This is called in modern industrial design. There's actually a name for it.
Very
And so we're
fancy.
taking what we have and trying to make it look nice.
I love it. Well, and I think it's great that you added color. Again, you're not just putting them out there and being like, bare minimum. Like there's a lot of thought and heart that's gone into every little piece of this. So, hey, we had a question from our audience. How many units or how many residents can you have at Sanctuary Village?
Well, there are some laws and codes about how many square feet a person should
Mhm.
be allotted and so forth and so on. But what you see here with 5 trailers, these units are all single units. You could double bunk if you needed to, but we
Mhm.
don't really plan to do that. And those two are 4 single units each. The blue trailer, the red trailer is also 4. But I decided, as a just in case, to make 2 family sized units, which are the mustard color
Love it.
trailer there.
That
And
was
what
gonna
I'm going to do
be my
is to
question.
have that as a just in case. But
Yeah.
also, we're going to try to find a police officer or a deputy, single male, single female, who would like free rent and would like to live here on the property just to keep an eye on things.
I love that. Very cool. So, what other needs do you have for helping with this? How can people help? How can people get involved?
Well, now this is where I guess it makes it really, really hard for a judge to do anything. I can't solicit anyone to make a financial donation.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't do that. I just communicate with people who are willing to help, and maybe they buy my refrigerators. Someone bought some of those refrigerators that you just saw in there, or some folks with the LDS church who are contractors,
Mm-hmm.
Briding and Sons. They're going to finish these 3 units. The sheriff's plumber did the plumbing rough in. The county electrician helped us with the electrical. Um, there's going to be a pavilion right here,
Yeah.
an open air pavilion that
Cool.
a person is going to donate the materials for. So if you want to help, my suggestion is contact Mr. Larry Toney, who is a local businessman and runs the Meritage Center on
Yep.
Chapel Hill Road. Larry was the contractor that donated his time to do these first 2 units. He's very aware of what our needs are, and I'll just leave it at that. Uh,
Oh, look, we got another question.
great.
I know. Look, this is the first time that we've ever had people ask, like live asking questions. They will come after. What are the requirements to stay there? I feel like we talked about this a little bit, but if you have any extra,
Very good
like,
question.
how do people go about the process? Where do they go?
Sure. What will happen is once we have our policy, our procedures, our rules, our structure in place, the next step will be to see we're working with the homeless already. we're establishing a relationship already. We're meeting with them, we're talking with them, we're spending time with them. We're going to give them the opportunity to come live here and sign a contract to play by our rules, which basically mean don't commit any crimes, no drinking, no drugs, no visitors to the property, and participate in our programming. And at some point in time, if you're just not participating, then we're going to kick you out. It's an accountability program.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to just give people a free place to live and just let them do whatever they want. My drug court people tell me when I ask them why they're succeeding, they
Mm-hmm.
tell me the first part is their decision to change.
Mm-hmm.
The second part is the structure, the accountability, the rules, and they realize they need it.
Yeah.
And the third part is you people care about us.
Mm.
So we're going to bring those three principles to bear here as well, because we've had 5 years of using them successfully in drug court that I run and mental health court that Judge Adams runs.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I just think it's such a great, it's a great cause. It's a great purpose. There's a great need in our community. Well, and let me ask one more question quickly. Has COVID affected you at all? Like, are you trying to put any kind of special guidelines in place? Or, I mean, it seems like you're pretty good because of the way that they're spaced out and everything. But has it had any kind of impact on it?
Well, fortunately, we keep an eye on that. The people that with Charlie Branson, the Homeless Coalition, Miss Myers with the Daily Bread Ministry at the Lutheran Church, and so far we haven't had any homeless people that contracted the disease. But has COVID? It's affected us like it's affected everyone. We've, when you do a construction project, there's stops, there's starts. You have money, you don't have money, you have weather problems, you run into unexpected contingencies. And especially when you're dependent upon largely a volunteer workforce and volunteer skilled labor. Everybody asks me, when is this going to be done? When is this going to be done? When is this going to be done? If I had a really, really big pot of money, it would have been done long ago. But I'm having to do things free and on the cheap.
Yeah.
Because the money that we have is extremely small. We got it. Basically, the actual cash is a combination of stuff that people have donated. Like the mini split systems, a company gave those to us at cost, but we still had to pay for them. These trailers cost $5,000 a piece to move from the school system. It was a blessing to the school system because they wanted to get rid of them. They brought them off their property because they were doing a paving project where they were located. But so money comes and goes, and workers comes and goes, and weather and a lot of different things. But once we got the plumbing and electrical rough end done right here, things are going to take off because we're left with sheetrock, flooring, fixtures, HVAC, and hot water heaters, and then we're going to be good to go.
I love it.
We're getting very, very close, and we feel very confident we will be open for business. And we're going to have a big celebration here, and we're going to invite you.
I will be there and I'll bring the ribbon and the scissors. Okay, I guess two more questions, and then we can go ahead and wrap up. You can get back in your air conditioning. How does someone apply? And is there a maximum amount of time that someone can stay there, or is it as long as they're following the rules, they're good?
That's a very good question. We're going to start by picking the people that we take, and the reason for that's simple.
Are you still there? I think that we lost you. We're going to hang out just a minute, just in case he comes back. And while we're waiting, we'll make sure and put all of the information in the comments below about how to get in touch with Sanctuary Village. And if you guys have any interest in working with the Homeless Coalition, we can also put their contact information in there. So it looks like we've lost Judge McClain, but I'm going to go ahead and give him a big thank you for joining us today, even if he's a little frozen. And we hope that you guys can tune in. We will not be broadcasting next week, but we'll be back on July 13th. So I hope everybody has a great 4th of July, great and safe 4th of July holiday, and we will see you next time. So thank you. Bye.